today I'm gonna go over the whole beauty of the benefits you can gain for leveling up by doing certain activities and that and what you can gain from them. And one of the activities is the gunsmith in the tower. And how I was doing it daily to rank up so I could get better weapons, and most of them leads to exotic tier weapons. That not many people seem to avoid it by not trying it out and everything else. And Destiny has a great heritage when it comes to showing what weapons and that has great god roll stats and everything, and that daily, it's just a weekly that was hosted by Messer Sean, which he went into the great depth and that showing you which ones to look out for and which ones are not to look out for. And yeah, it was from then I got interested into watching Messer's channel and that. Before further ado, each subclass has its legendary tier and exotic tier weapons from ranking up. But the hunter has its ace of spades, which is the tier 4 ranking, and for Titan it's something else, and Warlock something else. And with these are tied to subclass. You can't use them on your other characters. So kind of like if you get the Ace of Spades on Warlock, not Warlock, Hunter, and if you want to use it on the Warlock or Titan, you can't do it because it's all tied to subclass. So unlike Destiny 2, where now the Ace of Spades is now across all 3 characters, but on this game it's all tied to the Hunter. And these foundry orders you can only pick up a few at a time. But it takes up quite a lot of glimmer, but in order to get these, so you have to wait until next week's reset to claim them. But the whole beauty about the Gunsmith is in order to get the exotic tier weapons, and these are, apart from that, these are requirements which you can do them. The best way to get them is to do them is by getting a few of these, but some of these tied to Crucible and and other activities like make precision kills on certain enemies, and that you could do them in a magnitude of ways. You could do the first that below the mission, which loads and loads of thralls come at you. If it's Cabal, do the centrevez strike, and or if you're hitting round the dreadnought, or the best other place to do them where there's a butt ton of Cabal is Mars. But this one is a special one called the Appreciation, which is tied to a Crucible event, which is a special quest, and these help. These telemetry is and special and heavy ammo civvies help as much. For a quick fire way to ranking up your factions like New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, and Future War, you bag yourself a butt ton of these. But then again, it might get you a lot of might cost you quite a lot of glimmer. That means to say you got to do loads of glimmer farming in order to gain it all back. My glimmer status is 25,000, but it does max out, and with your legendary mats that also max out. Forget those. Those are tied to the microtransaction lady, so etc, etc, etc. Yeah, these are the worth from while doing if you want to rank up your factions and whatever. And if I go to my vault to see if I got it, is not that one. That's armor. And let me see. Fabian strategy. That's one for Titan. So kind of like if I want to equip this with per se my Warlock or my Hunter character, I cannot use it because this is for Titan for reaching rank 4, and Hunter is got its Ace of Spades. Then again, like I stated, something like if I want to use it on my Titan or Warlock, I cannot do that. And whilst I'm at it, every time you get an exotic engram from whatever activity you do, if it's strikes, if you've got loads of 3 coins, or if you're doing the Prison of Elders and the raid and that, and various quests, like ones for Amanda Holiday and that, which is something like the Chaperone, and there's one that you have to do one of the missions in the Taken King campaign, which is on harder difficulty, which guarantees you to trigger the black spindle, which is timed, and that and likewise with this here, the Boolean Gemini, you can get that from doing all the quest steps during through the House of Wolves DLC campaign. The magnitude of different types of archetypes of different weapons. Trespasser, Zen Meteor, Lord of Wolves, Fourth Horseman, Telesto, Necrochasm. Yeah, Necrochasm originally came from the husk of the pit. In order to get the husk of the pit, you got to do one of the early missions of the that below quest called the Fist of Crota, which you take on the Ultra Sword of Crota Knight at the beginning of the mission, and if he drops it, he gets the Husk of the Pit. That was by the time when the Dark Below came out, but when the Rise of Iron and that, it changed all that, so people don't have to do that so many times. So if you got the Rise of Iron DLC, you basically go to the Plaguelands and look out for a special type of ogre and the other yellow bar enemies and that. If you're taking one, if it drops it, it's the Necrochasm. The perks may vary, and you something like if it's the Thrall, you do the first bit in not in the Dark Below campaign. You do the first bit in the main story campaign, like the We Walk in the Hive, where all the thralls and that come rushing at you like zombies. Then you take them all on, then you send it up to the Ideal Ally, which you got some special things and that, and then you send it to the next step, which is the Necrochasm. You get this special ascendant shard thing from Eris. In order to get that, you have to do the Crota's End raid. Once you do that and you complete that step, it gives you another step at the bottom, in which you have to basically go to the Omnigol strike. Then when you do that, you get this special ascendant material. Don't accidentally dismantle it. You got to when you do get it, you come back to the tower and you got to ascend it into the final perk of the Ideal Ally. That gives you the Necrochasm.
You have closed the door.
And another exotic quests also include the Fawn and Galahorn and the buff for Nova Mortis and the Abaddon, which is the Arc and Void versions of the Necrochasm, in which you have to do a special strike, and that the first part of that is for the arc and the void, it's all down to using your arc and void abilities only. Once you do that, is you get the second step of the quest is to do a special is to do one of the strikes.
The Taken infest our worlds. We will never.
Once that's done, is you get that rewarded and etc. But with the font, it's so difficult, and likewise with the Galahorn, is so many steps and that. It's gonna take like a whole day discussing and going over the fundamentals steps and how to get them. And yeah, they're doing things like your exotic quests and your Gunsmith quests. Still are beneficial, and they can be quite rewarding, but frustrating and very grindy at the same time. The most grindiest of grind exotics are the ones you get from Lord Shaxx for completing the campaign of the Taken King, which you get loads of these. The steps you go through in order to trigger the first, the prerequisite steps get loads of hiding flakes around the dreadnought and loads of glimmer and whatever. If you got enough, we go back to him. If you want to do one, you can do one. If you want to do all three, you can do all three at the same time. One requires not glimmer, legendary mats, spin metal, and for the arc edge, it's 25 glimmer and not glimmer, 25 legendary mats and 25 spin metal. And 25 legendary mats and 25 healing filaments for the soul, and for the voyage it's 25 of legendary mats and relic iron to get the special cause, and that for each sword is going to be grindy around Mars, Cosmodrome, and the moon, which is pretty damn grindy in that. Once you do that, you have to do the second step, which you get so many succession kills and that in the Crucible. Once you do that, you get the next step on, which is something like using your abilities for void, solar, and arc. And once you do that, it states to you that you have to wait to get the next step from this guy, which is on the reset. When you do that, it gives you which is the pivotal and the final step called sealing the blade. In order to do that, you have to do a ultra hard version of the Sunless Cell mission, and one of the other steps way before I need that to unhealth the 3 Ultra Knights by that entrance is when you go towards facing Oryx, and the Aleco, the Dark Blade, and once you're on health, then those ultras, you got to take them out very quickly. Then it pops open the door. Then you go down. You take on the special ultra knight, and you kill him. And he gives you the further steps as I explained. And it could be pretty damn rewarding once those successfully did it. I did dabble in it a while back when I started this game on the Xbox 360. It was so frustrating as hell, so I just basically gave up. And along came the Rise of Iron. It saved me the hardship with doing all of that, because at the end of the Rise of Iron, I get the exotic sword anyways. And yeah, and these are worth getting if you shot on weapons and that, which has a great stats and rolls, but nothing really exciting if you want the ultimate god rolls and that. And it's pretty damn grindy. And when it comes to things like bounties, you get loads of these bounties, and all your Vanguard bounties for when you reach to the realms of the Rise of Iron status. So you get special elite bounties that you have to come to this guy, Commander Zavala. He's got these strike elite ones, the sunrise ones, which should guarantee an odd chance of the icebreaker. That some people are lucky to get it and others didn't, because of the allocated time you have to do it in order to complete it. I only successfully completed it once with a couple of other randoms, and sadly I did not get it. Only way I got the icebreaker was by a legacy engram that you buy from on Fridays.
The dreadnought still floats above Saturn, a dark stain.
And with Varys One, you got to do all the that below quest steps. And when you do complete it, you go and she gives you a discount version of the necrocosm called the Murmur. And likewise, when it comes to bounties and that, you go to this guy, which has got all the Vanguard Elite bounties, and all the normal ones, and all these lot, and yeah, all these are worth doing for your ranking games and that. Another form of bounties you get once a orbitorium nits planetarium. Then I show you the next two forms of bounties. but sometimes this game has a tendency to take long to get orbited into the next area. Other couple of forms of bounties is the Petra bounties,
We all owe you.
which is these ones here, which helps you to rank up the standings with Petra. When you reach the rank Queen's Wrath rank 3, you can access all of these. And however, if you reach a certain rank in that, there's enough chance of getting you a ship and decent armor pieces and that. But sadly, no weapon drops. But not like in the early days when you can. And how you get the Gemini, the Boolean Gemini, you have to speak to Petra
Good hunting.
and this guy here.
We are survivors, you and me.
And these are the prison of elders. You could do it in the prison of elders or the challenge of elders and that. And once you do that, it helps you to rank his standards up. But once you rank up in that, you get decent rewards. And to get these Dread Fan, in order to unlock it, originally you got to do the Malak strike in order to get it, and which is pretty okay, but there's many lot better ones out there, and this event is accumulate scores and that, which guarantees you decent rewards. As if you are going to do the challenge of elders, I suggest you pick up this sigil for 100 glimmer, and you can either do it solo. I prefer you to do it with two other people because it's a lot quicker, and that when you come back to him, you can get loads of bevy of decent rewards for doing it.
Perhaps I shall see you sooner than later.
So, in order to do it, to do the 41 challenge of elders to complete the sigil, if you're lucky in a dedicated fire team, it'd be a lot easier. But if you're doing it solo, when try LFG, try to find other guardians to play, it's going to be a hard sell to do that. And in the next area, which also has bounties, But in order to access the additional bounties, you got to have the ownership of the base campaign and the dark below the House of Wolves and the Taken King and the Rise of Iron, the DLCs to access them, and the additional hubs like the Vestian Outpost and the Iron Temple. If you don't have ownership to those, you can't access into these areas. These are for those who got ownership of the collector's edition of
Shut down the main SIVA source, but we aren't done yet.
Destiny with all the DLCs is included, and these ones are the Iron Lord bounties, which was worth doing. It is beneficial to those, and if you are going to do the Wrath of the Machine raid, these are pretty damn useful for crafting keys to get to ultra rare raid chests at the end of the strike. Bit like the special cache keys when you do Escalation Protocol in Destiny 2. If you don't have the keys, you can't get into the chest because these does require a special kind of key. Likewise for this. So if you got the special, so you can only use one to get the silver key fragments in order to craft the magnitude of keys. So, but these grant you decent rewards from doing it, like the off chance of decent legendaries. And the Iron Lord artifacts, which is for your subclass, you come to this person here.
There is more.
Rakan.
Let's get some answers.
In which she went through the early days of the campaign, and that one she completed, and that. These you have to do these every week in order to get the full set. And every time you get one, you have to attune it. You come to these ones here, like Yoda, Felwinter, Timur, and all the others. Once you attune all of these, you're done. So you don't have to come here. But this area has a little Easter egg of sorts, which you see some bells here, and if you are with a bunch of other people, you got to do those in sequence, and when they do that is it gives you the Rise of Iron anthem. And yeah, doing things like your Gunsmith, your dailies, and that is all beneficial when it comes to leveling up and to get decent gear. And don't forget to do your DLC quests and that for additional weapons and armor. And when you do this, this is the first step is to light these fires and etc. And however, this 0.5% of this map, which is the Vostok Observatory area, which is she's made a resurgence in Destiny 2 for one of the PvP maps. So so that was the Gunsmith and the daily bounty guides for leveling up, and don't forget to
These splicers have fortified an entire section.
hit the like button. One of my goals for this year is to step up my game to increase my subscription standing. But enough about that. Yeah, I will be back on Friday morning for Zer. And until then, this is me, Frankie Croft Smells. Have a great day. Stay safe. I see you Starside, and may the force be with you. And don't forget to follow me on social media. My social media links will be in the below in the description bar. To catch it, to notify and any recent videos. Don't forget to hit the notification button if you are gonna subscribe. And until then,
Guardian, we have a lot to discuss.
fairly well.